You're listening to Polymatic.media, episode 89 for March 2022. Welcome to the Polymaticast. Hey, John, how's it going?
Pretty okay.
Pretty okay. It's been a hell of a month for us, right? Or at least for me on my end, because first couple of weekends we're just sort of packed busy. Usually that first weekend usually gets pretty busy. So yeah. So
do you see, why do you say 2022 instead of 2020?
I mean, I could say, well, it's not 2020.
2022.
See, because 2022 is easier to, it's easier to say and less complicated to screw up. 2022.
I wonder how long it's going to take us to start doing it like 89 or 98 or whatever.
So like on A Tug's Life, when I get to the second half, I always say, "Oh, thank you for listening and downloading." And I don't know how I got into that pattern because I had nothing to say to sort of start that, and I would just do that. And now I'm breaking my habit of just going into the thought and the conversation, right? Because I already have a thing that's in front that like separates the two, and so it's like trying to get myself out of routine patterns, right? And every once in a while, it's good to change it. So. I don't know. I don't know how it is. Like, I know you just said something. It was not what I'm responding to, but the larger point of it was that, like, at some point you got to change your habits a little bit. It's a healthy thing. Helps your neurons work better.
You have to change habits if you have bad habits.
Yeah. Did you see the one video where guy calculated next time it would be where we have all twos?
No.
Oh, we'll all be dead. The universe might not exist.
Well, yeah. It's been a while. I think the last time we did a recording, that was beginning of February.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think Russia hadn't invaded Ukraine yet. What else? Yeah.
It's funny how the contrast.
Corona stuff.
Yeah, there's just a whole lot of stuff going on since then. So anyhow, I've been very busy with car club stuff, and I've been busy with just other things and some Otakon stuff. Last weekend, the reason we didn't record last weekend was because Otakon has this internal staff. Convention is really just a big meeting for the whole weekend. It's time where we get to break out and talk about very particular topics in our planning and issues, in contrast to last year. And so I was there to sort of document. I was there to initially interview people. And I got there and I realized all the people that I'm going to want to interview just happen to be in all these breakout sessions. So I chose to get B-roll. So that's kind of what I did. I drove maybe over 200 miles round trip. And I basically spent the weekend with Matt Pyson during the whole time. So it was good to see people, but it was very tiring. And I was carrying a tripod, plus my camera, plus some gear and a lens. So, I did a little of my exercising.
Did you get more SSDs or are you still recording?
No. I just used the card on the camera. I was like not going to set up like I was just. So I brought all the gear plus more for setting up the hotel room or a breakout room as an interview site. So I did all of that. And then I got there and then I realized that one thing, which is I don't think this is going to be feasible because I'm going to drag people up to a hotel room and they're going to want to just ever be in these breakout meetings, right? There was, I would say, very little downtime. We go from meetings to meetings to meetings. Let's go get lunch. Okay, back to meetings. And these kind of sessions are great for that. And it's especially when it's just a few, maybe a couple hundred people that run the whole convention. Probably say maybe a core 50 people run the whole convention. They're all very, very, very busy with these meetings, either leading them or participating in them. and so there was just going to be no bandwidth for that. So I loaded up the car with all the gear. Then
All
when
for
I got
nothing.
home, unloaded all the gear. Oh no, sorry, I unloaded it from the car to the hotel room. Then when we left from the hotel room down, and what it ended up being is just a camera, um, and the wireless Go to Rode, because they record locally. And
Mm.
I rigged everything up, and it would have been just a few bags if I was doing that. Um, so I was like, okay, great. I won't need all this gear anymore for Oticon. I'm like, no, no, no. when the Oticon happens, I got to set up a room, got to set up lights. I got to need the C stands. I mean, packing those in the car is always a pain in the butt. So I got my exercise last weekend, and it was good, but in the same respect, it kept us from doing a recording. So
Mm.
very
Well,
tiring.
normally we record at the beginning of the month, but now we're like at the end of the month,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to edit fast. And
Well,
that's
you
my
have to edit fast.
yeah. That's what I said.
I'll give myself a day for most of these recordings. Or in the case of Otaku's Life, I come down here, record the thing, and then within the evening I just go and I edit it. But that thing's a lot shorter.
Yeah, it's a lot shorter.
It goes from like a 3 minute recording to a 90-second output. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. So I went to the doctor again.
Yeah.
Had a
And
checkup
yeah.
for the diabetes. So I've got I'm at 6.5 every morning now, so that's pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, I can't say that I am. I took a conscious decision. Actually, I see my doctor tomorrow. So that would have been my 6 month. And when I come out of, when I'm in winter, my body wants to sort of hibernate. So it makes me want to keep eating things that are hot foods. Um, and it wants hot foods with carbs. It doesn't want just like any old hot food, right? It has to be a hot, fulfilling food so it doesn't make me hungry. And it just sort of goes into hibernation mode because of sort of temperature, right? It gets cold. Now that it's starting to spring is sort of summer like, it's starting to pop out around here where we have like 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and then all of a sudden it's 100 degrees. Well, maybe not 100 degrees, but it could be like a good uh, 70, 80, 90 degrees
Mm-hmm.
out or somewhere during the day, and then it pops down when the sun goes down back to cold again. Um, it's my body's like not dealing with it well. So I stopped testing every single day to sort of wash out whatever psychology that keeps me from like curbing or not curbing my habits, because like I'm rationalizing, oh, it was low this morning. I should give myself an excuse to eat lots of stuff. So I've been regulating without that, and I check every once in a while my numbers up, and then I know because I can feel it.
Mm.
So my doctor does not know I've been doing that, but in the same respect, when I was following my regimen and checking every day, and and disciplining myself, my body would just spike itself out anyways. So
Mm.
um so I don't know, we'll see what I assume I'm in the sevens now. I have to be. Every day is like a thing.
So
So
that's sevens, is in like your
A1C.
quarterly.
Yeah, not in the because I whatever unit that I use, um the DL, whatever I have to now you remember.
Milligram per deciliter.
I want to go look it up actually. But I mean, I've been okay. The app that I used to use is just decided to stop working well. So and it's not working for me right now. So I'm gonna ignore that. Yeah. So whatever the unit and measure that I would do if I was doing checking on a daily basis, it's just the blood sugar level.
I think it converts for me to like 58. That's in milligrams per deciliter. That's your.
No, because then if you're below 70, that's a danger zone for even non-diabetics.
Then
In
I'm
the
looking at
60s,
the
that's
wrong one.
like you're going to be dead. So whatever the conversion is, it's not what you think.
Oh no, never mind. It's looking at the wrong thing. Okay, so it's 120 ish,
Oh, okay.
115,
So
120.
yeah, so 120. I mean, that's not good if that's your top of the morning, beyond 8 hours fasting, or basically you haven't eaten for 8 hours.
Yeah.
It's not great. If you want to be in normal person territory, you'd be in the 80s. You'd be maybe spiked up at 100. Um, but I mean, even when I was doing well, I would take in the 120s as a good sign. Mid to low, right? I would take that's okay for me, right? It's a lot of energy and work to get myself down to 100, right?
Well, I've also been losing a lot of weight recently, so that's pretty good. I've lost since 17th of December about 10 kilograms, so that's about 20 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's pretty good. I need to get lose more, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah, because your body's not, you know, it's just not used to it, right? And if I want to regulate down, I want to get down there into that normal zone. It basically takes all year. You have to
Yeah.
discipline yourself all year, and you need a good regular workout. And I think I'm on that. I've been on that sort of cusp that I don't really have an environment where I have a gym, and I don't really go into the gym. And certainly because of Rona, I'm not really interested in going to a gym anytime soon. So
Did you used to go to a gym in the before
um,
times?
I would say maybe definitely before I lived here. I did that for a moment. I had a gym membership, and I eventually got rid of it. But when I stopped driving for a moment, getting to the gym was going to be a thing, right? So I stopped doing it. Um, and I fell off a pattern because I was just coming home tired every day, whatever it was. So I fell out of a pattern. Uh, and I think that time when I was doing it was actually really good for me because it was keeping me from being diabetic earlier, right? Being like at the level I got hit when I got to 2010 or 2011, 2010. I don't even know.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you got more house updates? Did you get one
So
yet?
I don't know where we left off. I probably last time we talked, I called the bank up and I said, all right, I want to get pre-approval. Um, and then in hindsight, I reached out to a friend of mine who used to do real estate. He's the person that sort of found this place for me, uh, and he doesn't do that anymore. So he gave me a reference to somebody to call. So I called that guy, and then he said, "Okay, I got a mortgage broker for you that works for me. Why don't you reach out to her?" So I did that, and I got myself a mortgage broker. And based on that conversation, she says, "Okay, so whatever you need to do, whether you want to go back to the bank, you need to find a lender that is going to fully underwrite you." That will save you time and complication when you put in offers. So I was like, okay, great. And so I finally connected up with somebody, and then sort of March and week of, and another weekend, crazy. I didn't really fill anything out until Friday night, so a couple of days ago. So we'll see how that goes. And he'll fully underwrite me. We'll see what the rates are, what the numbers are, um, and then we'll go from there. But I've been continuing looking at least online, places, and I think I have a real narrow focus to the kind of house I want. So
Hmm.
that's it. I mean, that's really it. I think the big news there is connecting up with the most correct people so that I can make this as easy as a process as possible. Um, and I was talking with people obviously last weekend where I made some comment about being fully underwritten was a recommendation. So I'm going through, or at least trying to start that process. And, her comment to me was, yeah, that was like hell. It was like took way too long, and it was too complicated, and uh, you know, so I'm glad I'm glad I'm going through the process. Is the key part.
Mm.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not. Hopefully it goes well. But what happens around here is you have one inquiry on your credit, and then of course my credit score goes down by a point. You know, it's really stupid how they do that, but it is.
A what? A?
Yeah, when you get a credit inquiries now, they don't know the credit inquiry to the history doesn't say, "Oh, you're looking to buy a house. Oh, you're looking for. Oh, you're getting a car loan." Like, it doesn't. When you get that credit inquiry on your report, um, it just a couple of them responded, I'm gonna ding you 2 points. So it's like whatever, you guys are jackasses. Our
Hmm.
credit history system is just it's
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
bit weird.
These are the same places that of the three in the U.S. Two of them got hacked. You know,
Yeah, it sounds like a
it's a
big
bad
pickle.
system full of not a great industry.
Yeah.
So
Played played any cool new video games?
no, I have been regulating. I bought humans fall on their flat on their face or something like that because I saw sort of I'm gonna say streamer friend, but somebody through a Discord board. She and other people were playing this game, and I was watching their stream one day, and we all had it was a really good fun time. It has a lot of bad artifacts, so there were multiple times where like Freya was trying to climb a tree to get on top of this other thing, and she gets stuck in stuck in the tree branches, and then someone would have to come along and push her out. And so the joke was like, "Hang in there, Freya."
Hmm. I
So
I got the Horizon new
Zero
Horizon game.
Dawn.
Yeah, not Zero Dawn, the new one, and I got a
Oh, okay.
PlayStation 4.
Oh, okay.
Fun times. So
Yeah,
I plugged that in, and the first thing I did was swap out the hard drive for the PlayStation 4 from PlayStation 4
hmm
with an SSD, which is great. Only problem is that the uh, I tried to play Horizon, and I didn't through remote play, and that worked fine. And then I went to play it on the TV, but turns out if you turn on HDR, some TVs do not like HDR.
right, because they're not ready for it.
Well, this one is supposedly ready for it, but just turned off the TV numerous times. It basically crashed the TV,
Huh.
and I was unable to get back into the PlayStation. So I had to turn it off, and then turn off the TV, unplug the TV, replug in the TV power to get it to show the PlayStation again.
Hmm.
Then I turned off HDR because I figured out since the blinking HDR logo in the right hand side was blinking all the time, I thought it's probably something to do
Oh,
with it.
having a sync problem.
Yeah, and remote play doesn't do the HDR stuff, so that makes sense.
hmm
But yeah, it was okay. I just I haven't played like far past like the first like the introduction stuff. Like it's kind of stupid. You, there's characters get stuck in the water and like there were so many bugs. I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave this game for now. I'm just gonna come back to it in a couple of weeks. And it's been a couple of weeks and I haven't gotten back to it because I don't think I want to, but I'll try it again at some point. It's just I buy a lot of games that I never play,
hmm
and
That's
I
why I
think I should.
never do the humble bundle stuff because I have a lot of games in the past that I never played,
Mm-hmm.
and I just I just don't get a lot of bandwidth when I get home after work, and podcasts kind of eats up some of that time. So I don't get a tremendous amount of bandwidth, and then when am I gonna watch you know the Spider-Man movie, right? That kind of stuff. So I gotta sort of pick my time slots for what I'm doing. Um,
What do you think of Spider-Man, by the way?
well, I haven't watched it yet,
Oh,
so
okay, okay, okay.
yeah. So I don't have any thought about it.
Okay.
And I also didn't see. I'm pretty sure I didn't see any of the Andrew Garfield movies, so I don't have any opinion or built-in. I don't know, built-in. I don't have any kind of. I don't know how to explain it. I don't.
Expectations?
Yeah, I don't have any expectations. I just don't have anything about him that to me him as Spider Man. I don't have any opinion if I liked it, if I hated it. I just have no expectations. I have no um, quantified opinion about him as that character or as that actor in that role. So I never watched those movies. I just sort of let them pass by because it just felt like after Tobey Maguire, they seem to be on a bad path again with Spider-Man, and that's really just due to the movie studio and a little less with the
Yeah, and
directors or the
Andrew Garfield
producers.
Spider-Mans were not great.
Yeah, no, I've heard different things where people are like, oh man, he was great, and then so I don't have any opinion about it, and so
The
he
first
will
one was
be.
okay. The second one was not that great.
But even then, the first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire was good. The second one was kind of
It
not
was
great.
okay, and
Yeah,
three
I
was just bad.
yeah, I think three was pretty bad. This is when he was like got lots of swagger or something, or
Oh, he got very
evil,
emo.
evil Peter Parker or whatever it was. So it just, it's just like okay. But I think he did a good job as Spider-Man, right? So I thought Tobey Maguire did a good job with that. But the movies, again, different problem, right? So that's a different story. And then Tom Holland, I think, has been doing a good job.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. I don't have any particular opinion, but I've heard good things, and
I
so
liked it. It was a bit chaotic, but
yeah. I mean, I know you just said it. I watched the Adam Project. I enjoyed it. You hated it.
okay. Hey, I didn't say I hated it. I just didn't think it was very good.
Oh, okay. Is there any particular thing you didn't like about it?
I don't know. It just the whole premise was a little bit weird. wasn't
Okay, so you say it was
wasn't
weak sauce.
Yeah, basically it was very.
Maybe it's because I generally enjoy Ryan Reynolds in most roles. So as sort of an actor or the kind of thing that he nails a particular character that clearly nowadays that stuff's written for him. Like Free Guy, he plays Guy very well, right? And what other actor could play that
I
balance?
haven't seen that movie.
Oh, and so for example, if you don't like Ryan Reynolds as an actor, you don't like the typical Ryan Reynolds like for example, Deadpool. Who else could play Deadpool exactly as Deadpool needs to be played? Ryan
Yeah, in,
Reynolds,
in
his
two
sort
different
of
movie franchises,
yeah, but
no
but
less.
his character, the way he sort of runs this balance between comical and serious and also action star all at the same time without looking like an action star. That's sort of Ryan Reynolds. Like the guy is ripped, but he doesn't advertise it. You don't look at Ryan Reynolds and go, "Oh, okay." Most of the time you get when you get an action star, it's like someone turned up the volume on one specific thing, and that's all that you get from that human. And so that's exactly what most action stars are, or most stars that can dance and sing, uh, celebrities that can actors or actresses that are funny, right? That's like they turned up a specific kind of dial, and that's kind of all that you get. Where him, he's just like normal looking guy. By the way, he's physically fit. By the way, he can be really good action star. By the way, he can act and in serious and also follow a balance of being funny at the same time.
Hmm.
And I always noticed that quality about him. Obviously, maybe not physically fit and action star stuff because that's evolved in his career. When he was doing a really terrible sitcom that got canceled pretty quickly, way back, I want to say the '90s, early 2000s. So I was like, oh yeah, that guy will do well in life, and then nothing happened, and then he got some, but I don't even know his filmography off the top of my head, but he got a couple movies that really sort of brought him in. That being said, sometimes that doesn't work. What was it, the Hitman and the Bodyguard
Mm-hmm.
or something like that? Like, I could have done without watching that movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't seen The Matrix yet, right?
Oh, I did.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I saw it a while ago. That's a movie I would recommend you not watch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've gotten to the point where I'm like, yeah, do I want to continue watching this or not? I have
Well,
like a
so the defensive stance someone said to me was that they were planning on making this fourth movie with or without the two main characters.
kind of
The
funny
two
that they
two
put that
main
into the
actors.
movie.
Let me say that. The two main actors. And so they're like, well, we're going to do it with or without you. So they're like, okay, but we are allowed to totally make fun of this sort of movie genre and trope. And so they let him do it. That's the only reason why Carrie Ann Moss and Keanu Reeves did it. And they
Yeah.
do. They totally make fun of themselves the whole time. But in the same respect, we kind of just didn't need it. Totally didn't need it.
Oh no, it's very not great.
Yeah.
So far, it's not great.
No.
So you recommend Free Guy?
Hmm?
So you recommend Free Guy?
I do. I liked it. But again, if you are not built into um, liking Ryan Reynolds in this sort of the way he plays sort of
Oh no,
action plus
I don't mind him. It's just that movie didn't. It
didn't
was
appeal
just
to you,
it
I
was
thought
just
it was
dumb.
good. Is it Player One? Is it Ready Player One? No, no, it's nothing like that.
No, I didn't like Ready Player One either. I
Okay,
liked the book. I just didn't like the movie.
right, but I mean, if you're going for a concept like that, which I mean, if you were to sort of put them in a 140 characters, Twitter size sort of pitch on paper, those two movies seem like each other.
Hmm.
Um, But that being said, I enjoyed it. And again, I enjoy him as a character, so I'm sort of almost built in on the ride to enjoy it a little bit more on average, I think, than most.
Yeah, it's pretty entertaining. The what's the guy's name again? Deadpool movies are fun. Yeah, I'll go check it out. I'll see.
It doesn't go where Deadpool goes, so let me say that.
Hmm. Hmm. As long as it's not pixels.
uh no. I already forgot about that movie.
It's a bad movie. And I haven't even watched it. Just from the idea, the concept on its own
I
is
I saw it. I
bad.
remember not hating it. But I totally forgot about the movie, which tells you that it didn't leave any kind of strong impact on me. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I joined TikTok.
Yeah. Or they let you join TikTok
Yeah. So yeah, that was a bit of a hassle. I use a different
account.
email address for this, so
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it's kind of annoying. But I did put up a couple of videos so far.
Mm-hmm.
Some blinky lights, which is always entertaining.
Yeah.
Not
Hexagon LED panels.
what?
Your hex LED panels.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're pretty cool. I buy them off Etsy,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can put your own patterns on it. Some of I ordered some. I don't know if I told you about this, but there was a I bought some 19-inch rack mount panels that you can put like in a blank slate blank
Hmm.
panel, like 1U high,
Hmm.
and for LEDs. But they got sent to New York instead of my country. It's like the other side of the Atlantic. You didn't have to go left, you have to go right. So
Where are they coming from?
the UK.
Interesting. So why did that happen?
I have no idea. But then so I got a refund for that. Then Etsy sent me a refund for another order I did for the same guy, and basically they after that they told me, oh yeah, so we refunded you. We weren't supposed to. Oops, but it's on us. So that was cool.
Hmm.
So I got the first refund for the 19-inch rack panels, and then I got a refund for the other panels, the hex ones that I bought, and then I got uh, then I ordered another one of the rack things,
Mm-hmm.
another set, and that those came in, and then a week later I get a message from my postal service saying, "Hey, there's a package coming in, but you have to pay duties on it."
Did it at least equate to the credit you got?
No, it was like $15 or something like that. It's not that much, but like, and I was like, huh, why would I have to pay duties on something that I've already received? So I'm looking at this. Hey, that tracking number, that looks different. Wait, that's the tracking number from the one that went to the US. So it went all the way to the US and then went all the way back to me. It took like a month and a half to get it back. It's like it only updated the day before I got the message. Like they only updated that. Oh, now it's in the Netherlands. They basically just shipped it to
Yeah.
the U.S. and then shipped
I
it back.
I bought on recommendation from somebody, this sort of, and I'm staring at it right now, this stand-up radiator, self-contained radiator heater. And so as a way to like maybe heat up the basement. Um, and the recommendation came from somebody. It's like, oh yeah, a small room, it's fine. Heats up pretty quickly. Oh, here's one that I normally get. And I was like, okay, great. So I'll do that. And I'm staring at the thing, and it warms up maybe at its best effort, maybe 2 degrees, uh, Fahrenheit down here, which is not there's nothing. It's nothing when it's super cold outside. I mean, right now it's 62 Fahrenheit or something like that, which is perfectly fine. I can sit here and be comfortable and talk to you. Um, but when it's 50 degrees, 40 degrees down here, that's bad. Right. Anyhow, so the point is that I ordered the thing and it says, it's going to come in a month. I was like, okay, whatever. And then it showed up in 2 days. And
Hmm.
then literally this week, I got oh, this thing is on delivery because I couldn't say I already got it. Right. There's no way for me to tell Amazon I already got it. They just didn't have an option for me because it didn't ship yet. So somewhere in the tracking, someone finally got like clued in that they already delivered it. It showed up in a day.
Yeah.
Um, so so sometimes the tracking system is imperfect and these things get messed up. In your case, it was actually the tracking system, the routing system got screwed up.
Yep.
So why that's the case, I don't really know.
I had some packages that I had coming in that got from Amazon that got rerouted and stuff,
Hmm.
and then they got delivered, and then it was like, oh, we're out for delivery tonight. Wait, what? I got it yesterday.
Yeah, I've had those where it shows up and it's like, oh, I got the package. I use because I buy some other things not on Amazon, and a lot of these companies are small companies that sell things. I would say sort of domestically. I mean, maybe internationally as well, but a lot of people when they start their business, they want to sell stuff. They go through shop.com. Shopify basically helped sort of make this kind of stuff easy for you to build a whole online system right through their services. And they have apps and stuff like that, and they take care of the financial stuff. And they eventually got so large that you can do shop pay. And if you have the app, you can kind of put your card in there or whatever it is, and you can pay through shop as one of your options. And because I have that app, it tracks all of the things that come through anything that's a Shopify, store, but also it will go in and check in on the Amazon stuff and check in on anything that's coming in. And it will give me all the tracking information like it does for the Shopify stuff. And it's actually pretty good app.
Sounds
I don't know
creepy.
how much of a spread it has on your side of the world, but
Hmm.
it's pretty systemic around here.
I think Shopify is mostly a North American thing.
Yeah. So it's really good. So I can see that tracking information come in once it comes into an email or once it gets reported by one of the Shopify stores.
Hmm. And they read your email?
Because they give them permission to do it.
Eee.
Because there was, yeah, I know you and your paranoia. Um, I
Cut
gave
to
them,
2 weeks later.
yeah. So I gave them that information so I get to see. It won't really mean anything. You won't be able to really see anything anyways because it won't focus quickly. But I get to see sort of all the crap. So if I have a question, where is it? Um, it'll show me everything, and it actually is making that process way more convenient. Every once in a while, it doesn't know about something, and then I can just go in there and say, okay, I already received it. So
Hmm. Well, I also bought some solar panels
okay,
and a giant big ass battery. It's not a power wall, but it's a what is it called again? I don't remember. It's like a huge like 25 uh um
kilowatt.
amp amp.
Oh, amp.
So amp hour battery. So
Mm-hmm.
25 amp hour battery. No, not 25 milliamp hour, 25 amp hour.
Right. Well, 25 million amp hours is
No, 25,000. But yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When people are like, "Oh yeah, I got 25,000 battery," and I'm like, "You mean 20 amp?" No, 20. I'm like, "Yeah, okay."
Yep. So I can charge the battery uh with that with that solar
Solar
panel of it.
panels. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you plan to use it for?
Well, since we're coming out of lockdown and stuff and we're doing stuff around again, um yeah, I'm thinking of like doing some traveling maybe.
Hmm.
So it'd be good. And this battery is just below the limit of
Oh,
what you
carry
can
on.
bring on the airplane. So
Mm-hmm.
so if I go on an airplane, I don't have an issue bringing anything like this. So yeah, that's I just want to, it's been what, 6 years, 7 years since I've been somewhere else. So yeah, it's been a while. I think the
Well,
last time I was in
maybe
Philadelphia was 2015.
maybe the timing will work out. I was talking to Simon when I saw him because he's coming out of Toronto. He flew in for the last weekend. Um, and so I was like, well, depending on when Otakon happens, you may be come visiting me in a new house or the existing one.
Hmm.
So, no,
Yeah.
we'll see. I know when things happen, everyone's gonna want it to happen fast, and I
Yeah.
will be very woefully unprepared to handle it. But that will be the motivator. I need to clean everything up.
Did you go to any houses yet? Do you check
No,
anything out?
because I don't want to. I did a while ago on my own before I had a mortgage broker, before I did a pre-approval. I just wanted to. They had an open house not far from where I am now. And I looked at these new construction places, and it's not that they were bad, it's just that it felt small given the price they were asking. That being
Mm-hmm.
said, they haven't really upped the pricing too much, at least this particular builder. And as a correlated result of that, while everyone else is like, "Ooh, opportunity to ask for another $100,000. Ooh, another opportunity to ask for another $200,000," while people are sort of abusing the market right now, as a seller's market, that's kind of what's going on. So you see these houses that have. If I go farther out, farther away from Philly, so if I go another 20 miles away from Philly, uh, I can get something in 2,000 square feet, but the prices on that are somewhere around $500,000.
Yeah.
If you go
That's a
add
lot of money.
another 300, 400 square feet, um, whether you come closer to the city or you stay about the same place, they go up another 200K. And if you go way, way, way far out, um, then you need to go 50 miles out from the city, or from here, which means it'd be nearly 80 miles to center city. Then you're really talking, you're talking a good price value and size of a house. But then you gotta, like, you gotta heat the house, you gotta cool the house, right? And I don't need that much. I don't need that much room. I just need enough room for me. And where I'm
Yeah.
at right now is, would this be enough room for me? Maybe. Yeah, I would say so. But in the same respect, I want something a little bit more modern where the house isn't nearly, doesn't have as much age and wear on it. Right. And I want something that has the qualities of the combinations that I want, right? Like a garage, for example. So, yeah, I'm looking for a different house, not necessarily, and then if it's just me, these kind of houses that were built in the 80s, they spent a lot of time sort of compartmentalizing things. And I never liked that design. I never liked these sort of closed wall designs everywhere.
You're gonna
Uh,
knock a wall out and make it an open floor plan.
yeah, and
Isn't that one of those house redecoration
yeah.
show
So
tropes?
when you go back, to maybe the houses they built in the 30s, 20s and 30s, those are sort of the older houses. They have sort of tiny bedrooms upstairs, but they have big open floor plans. This is sort of the design for more family space, right? And you might not be completely compartmentalized, but you might have a room for a dining room. Then you have a living room, and then you have a kitchen. The kitchen isn't necessarily the biggest glorious thing in the world in those kinds of houses. And while they have much better open space, um, and even the last house that, like, I was at, you saw that, right? The rooms were kind of tiny, but the main area was more open, right? The kitchen was kind of tiny, but the bigger area was open, and I kind of enjoy that design, that floor plan. Here, it's like the kitchen's okay. It feels tiny because my roommate fills it up with crap, um, and then the living room is okay, and the bedrooms and the bathrooms are sort of oblong. They're just sort of weird the way they sort of kind of compartmentalized upstairs, but upstairs feels cramped, in my
Hmm.
opinion. And so these sort of new places, they're back to sort of more open design. So some of them that I've not seen them yet, they might still be available. There's one where, the area, there's sort of like a center area, a sort of open space that you could utilize between the bedrooms upstairs, and one of the bedrooms is downstairs, and then you still have a basement, and then you still have connectivity to the garage, and you have sort of open kitchen to the family room space. And there's another one where it's like they have this interesting staircase where you kind of walk in through the hallway, and you have entrance to the garage, and you go up a little bit, and you have an opportunity to go back down. It goes into a sort of a more of a flex space for a basement, which is also the way you connect from the garage. And it's where you put your washer and dryer and stuff like that. And then it takes you upstairs, which feels sort of like half elevated, like a first floor and a half or something. And that's where the kitchen and the family room is. And then you have like the third floor, which is where the other final bedrooms are. So, like, depending on the houses, they've really been considering living spaces plus also having ample room for people to sort of have their personal space as well. Where houses like this, it's like no personal space and no common space. And that seemed to be the kind of thing they were building houses like in the 80s and the 90s. And so floor plan has a lot to do with it for me too.
So, are you looking for something along the lines of the new?
Yeah, I'm looking towards new construction because I lived in two different kind of houses with that had different kinds of errors of age on them, and this is when stuff starts to fall apart. I like to
Mm.
have 10, 15 years before everything starts to fall apart on me.
Well, it shouldn't fall apart in 15 years.
Right, I know, but I'm just saying it's like, in between 30 years or so. So when I got here, this house was maybe 25 years, and then the HVAC started to go, and the roof needed to be replaced, and then the deck was wearing out because
Yep.
when they put the deck in, they didn't really seal it correctly, and so
And when you own it, it's all on you.
right, and so I was renting this place, so and then problem with the plumbing, and it hit age, right, and obviously, my landlord was not the first owner, right? She bought this house probably 10 years into it, maybe 15 years into it, maybe 20 years into it or something. She got the house, and then they shortly left to go buy a bigger house, and then there's at least one renter before me before I took it over. So it's not like the house was poorly built, but there's lots of things that could have been done better that just weren't, you know. And so that's the other advantage when it's new construction, especially if they haven't even framed the thing yet. If it's just a shell waiting for my input, then at least I get to determine what kind of ugly wallpaper or colors or
You,
carpet get to go in.
you should
You
try
know,
that house renovation game.
no, I don't know what you're talking about.
There's this game. It's used for Phasmophobia as well. I think the game engine is used for Phasmophobia too. And it's some sort of house renovation thing where you like, uh, you know, paint walls and stuff like that. You should probably get some time in that.
No,
Get
I
some
mean,
inspiration.
I don't. I'll know it when I see it. Right. I already have a pretty strong opinion about how I want to do things. Now, I want some flex space. That flex space may not be as need to be as ample as this, right? Because there was a time where people were physically here, and while someone like Matt wants to be here, come back and start recording again, it's a process, right? To get them out of their space, and I really just need a space for myself, and I definitely am going to want sort of an office space, kind of like as I have upstairs. And I'm gonna want to probably take half a garage and put racks in one side of a 2 car garage, or at least have enough space to put some racks in so I can put my audio gear and my lighting gear and my filming gear on racks and be organized, and then just grab and go when I want. Compared to what I have now, right? I need a space
Mm.
to have my stuff. It's sort of my version of a a workshop, and then maybe at some point, maybe a spare room turns into like the 3D printing room or something like that. But I'm not ever going to go as crazy as others do, right? I'm not going to fill my whole room with 16 printers, print out, play around and do that forever, right? That's not my
Mm.
thing. Um, so like I just need some space, and I definitely need a room for when people are coming into town, and I whether a whole room is dedicated for me to turn it into an office space, I don't know. Haven't decided on that. I'm more of have my flex space be my office space, right?
Mm.
So as it is today, I have all my crap upstairs, but I'd like to kind of take what I have here plus that upstairs and sort of move them together. So it's one space instead of two isolated environments. Um, yeah,
Did you pre-order the Steam Deck?
I did not. No,
Okay.
I don't game enough to
Mm.
justify it,
Well,
and
for
I don't use
for
my
me,
Switch enough in portable format to justify that thought.
well, for me, it's like I like the Switch because I actually play games on it,
Mm-hmm.
and um, I like the form factor, so that's good. And I would like to play the games that I've bought so far on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I
Yeah,
think
and
I'll
and
be playing more games if I have a Steam Deck.
we've
If
also
whenever I ever get it.
we've also seen lots of companies of note sort of produce vaporware, right? They produce a thing and it's not so good and whatever it is, and well, $500 is not that bad of a price considering sort of the tech that you're getting. we all didn't know whether it was actually going to come. They followed through, but
Oh yeah, they did.
we didn't know that for sure, right? And to just sink $500 on $500 on that means Alan can get 5 lighting kits or two
Oh no,
Pelican
but you
cases.
pre-ordered it with like €4
Right, I got
or
it.
$5, I think.
So it turns out it is a good thing, and they did follow through, and that's great. But
Yeah,
for me, it was just like not enough. I just couldn't justify the thought. Right? It's not. I spend my money elsewhere.
yeah,
So I didn't do it. I'm glad that it turns out that it's mostly a price and value align well. So that's a
yeah.
good thing.
Looks pretty good, and I'm like, oh, when can I get it? Well, when will I get the invite, like to purchase it? It's gonna be Q2, so that's gonna be
Oh, so not everyone has it yet.
no, 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 no. I
Got it.
wish I had
Just
it.
the reviewers. Got it. Okay.
Q1 is not yet over, and they
Hmm.
say Q2, but so I'll probably get it somewhere in June, which is great because that's the time when I get my vacation money. We get a vacation money over here.
Yeah, we don't get anything like that. I got a bonus recently, but
Mm.
that just needs to sit in the bank. I don't need to touch that. I mean, I want to touch it, but I'm not going to touch it.
More gadgets.
Well, I came back from the experience last weekend and I was like, okay, I can take all this mess and I need to reorganize. And I filled up one of the Pelican cases pretty well, but I really need like one or two Pelican cases just for audio gear, another one for just lighting gear, um, and maybe another one. So like really, I'd rather have like 4 or 5 Pelican cases that I just load up the car with, and then throw C stands in and a couple, sort of not what do you call them? Not backpacks, but your photo bag, whatever,
Mm.
uh, and put a couple of those in and be done with it, right? And then I still need other things, right? So I still need like a thing for a bunch of different tools and Velcro strips, and because I'm gonna want to sort of tie down the environment, I'm gonna need one for cables, and like when you're sort of building a small studio with you to set it up, like
One man portable studio.
yeah, and it's not like I want it all self-contained into a Pelican case, but to set up all the lighting gear, the hoods, the domes, they all collapse down in nice, manageable, ways. But they're long, they're big, right? And uh, those are easy to carry because in terms of weight, they're good. But when you have to fill all that stuff up in your car, it gets complicated. And while I have lots of trunk space in my car, when you're also carrying someone with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got to put your bags of clothes in there, and all that stuff. So the C stands I had to pull down. First time I actually pulled down one of the back seats down, and it gives complete exposure to the trunk because the C stands they were just maybe half a foot too big. I couldn't diagonally put them in my trunk. And even when they're all like fully collapsed, I had to I had to sort of angle it like an L through that
Well, when you have
one
your new
seat.
house, you should get one of those um, like a little cart you can put behind your car where you can put all the stuff in there.
Oh yeah, I already have envisioned in my head to buy a bunch of those Husky tool carts. Go to Home Depot and order them, have them delivered, and then I'll set those up in the garage where they're rolling carts. Like you see this in everyone's workshops.
Mm-hmm.
I saw somebody. What did they do? They stuck one of those in their pantry, and that's how they used to organize. And there was like, I thought this would be really stupid, but oh my god, it turns out to be great. And I
I
was
have
like,
these
oh,
Stanley Fatmax organizer boxes with like
mm-hmm,
for electronics and stuff,
yeah.
and I have like one of those furniture movers underneath it, so it just rolls out, and I can put it back into its location.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm
I
thinking
got
about doing more of that, and in my my little workspace.
so they're not Sortimo, but I went over to I went over to like the Container Store, and they have these particular art boxes, and they're kind of expensive, but they're not nearly as expensive getting Sortimo or whatever the equivalency of those are. Um, and so they have these little, these little containers in them. And I went and I put together just, of course, they all sort of don't fit well, but one of them has all kinds of oblong little photo adapters, right? It's not even everything, but stuff I had in these jewel bags, which were sort of falling apart. Then I took another one, I put in USB B, uh, A to B cords, and then another one for USB C, and then the ones that are sort of the odd ones where they have like this USB 3.1, and so I have like four of those, and they're great, and they sit on a cart that I have that sits underneath the table. But I'm gonna sort of think about that stuff. That's sort of the house shopping I'm gonna be spending my money on. Is sort of organizing so that I can organize my space so that I can just go to a drawer, go grab a thing, and put the things I think I need in it. And so I grabbed three of those with me to in case I needed one of those adapters or something. They were perfect, right? If I needed something, I just have the whole box full of stuff, right? And that's kind of how I want to organize everything. Is I want to be able to pack everything with thought and just go grab the proper case of what I need when I need it. You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we've been talking for almost an hour now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do the fun stuff?
Yeah. Let's get it over
Jeez.
with.
Okay, so the first one is baby gecko dun 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 dun. So
Yeah.
like a baby shark, but
Mm-hmm. It was good. I watched that video. It was
Polymatic link
interesting.
slash 13F for that.
Yeah. It was interesting to watch that guy. Though I felt like that, even I guess for the baby gecko, that was enough room. But it felt like that jar he was using was just way too small, in my opinion.
Mm.
Especially when he started to fill it up with, he put the gravel, he put the charcoal, he put the dirt in it.
Well, they're
And
tiny, so
yeah. So, I mean, for that environment, I guess that would work out. But, yeah, it's interesting. I might go back and see what else this guy does if there's any follow up on that.
Okay, Polymatic link slash 13F.
Yeah. All right. So this is really for you. This guy is, I don't know. I don't follow him on TikTok. All my stuff are TikToks. But this guy was talking about fiber, fat, and protein, and he went over it in a very informative way that I thought that you normally don't get a good explanation on, where insulin and the way sort of your body processes and why it jumps and it dives, it spikes, it leaps. Like he explains this really well, I think, within that 3 minutes. I just called it fiber, fat, protein, polymatic.link/13p. Did you watch that? Was it useful? Was it good to know about?
Most of the stuff, I'm not sure it was completely right on everything, but most of the stuff was already known. So
Okay.
anyway, I'm on TikTok, Polymatic link slash 13G. For a
Yeah, you
video
can watch
from
all
me.
his hex panels, supercomputer panels.
Yeah, I'm gonna do other stuff there as well. It's just for now, it's just I have a lot of these to solder, so it's gonna be me soldering these for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Polymatic link slash 13G.
Hmm. Okay. So this is a guy I follow on TikTok. Generally, he's just good to follow for all kinds of reasons. But every once in a while, he has a great one. Destroy fandom. Polymatic.link. That's 13T.
I don't remember what this was.
He goes through how to anger every
Oh
fandom.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And so he just went down, and at the end, the best part of it is sort of how he ends it. So yeah.
Yep. So the new Mac Minis, M1 Mac Minis came out last year, and somebody made a mini Mac Mini out of it because turns out you don't need all that space inside the Mac Mini, which makes me wonder about those new the new Macs
Ultras.
with the high higher up, like double or triple Mac Mini sized device that they're selling now.
Oh, right. The well, that's the new Studio, the Mac Mini.
M1 Ultra.
Yeah, the Ultra, the Studio, whatever it is that
Yeah,
they.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Polymatic link. So wow, Polymatic link slash 13H for
Yeah.
the Mini Mac Mini, where they basically just chop it down to like the barest minimum it needs in
And
space.
3D printed a case.
Yep.
Yep. Baby Yoda in candy format. Polymatic
Yeah, it
that
was like,
link
what
slash
am I
13S.
watching here?
Yeah, and then it really doesn't make any sense until you see the ad and go, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
So I don't know
kind of funny.
how I can't wrap my brain on how. I guess you have to be a candy maker for a long time to know how that makes sense. Uh, but yeah, polymatic.link slash 13S.
Okay, next one, resin in Minecraft. Basically using like that plastic clay,
Mm-hmm.
to make Minecraft
Shirgu,
sculptures.
Sugaru or something like that. Is that what you're talking about?
Over here they call it Fimo.
Okay.
I think that's even the brand that they use. So,
Yeah, so I enjoyed this, but I hated the little Minecraft noises.
oh, you can always turn off your sound.
I know, but I didn't mind the music and everything that complemented it, but it was just this, it's all the Minecraft noises.
That's
Every
because they're trying
every
to make it
little thing.
ASMR.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
part of it annoys me because I'm like, okay, enough of that.
the making is fine. The rest is leave it.
Yeah,
Just
that
turn
that
on some
part is
music.
yeah, that part is annoying.
Paul Mac link slash 13i.
Yeah, but I wouldn't recommend anyone like I wouldn't recommend against anyone going in and watching it. Okay, can you guess? I for life me can't remember what this was. Oh nope, no, I can't remember what it was. You gonna
Let's
go watch
check
it
it
right now?
out.
I can't
Let's
remember
see
what it
what it
was because of my
was.
title.
Let me check it out. It is a person playing
Oh yeah,
Pac-Man
okay, got
music.
it. So they're playing music and it's showing up. The notes are showing up through a sequencer. So it really what you're hearing and what you're seeing. Can you guess what the person's playing? Right. So anyhow, polymatic.link says 13V.
Okay, rat review. Question mark? Paul
And
Mac link
then,
says 13J.
you've shown this site before. It's so weird, man. It's so weird. I'm not into rats. You have rats, so it's not my thing, man.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wait, did I link a site? I think I linked.
Well,
What?
you linked a particular channel, but I've seen this before because you've linked to at least another video in the past.
Yeah, I think this is like some new rats came in or something like that. I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, introducing new rats. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like rats. They're cool.
Yeah.
They're smart.
Polymatic.link 13J. All right.
Yep.
So this was one of those things. Was one of those weird things where someone had a reaction to something, and I thought it was kind of funny. Polymatic.link slash 13R. This is the person looking at maps and noticing something. Legacy Park.
Yeah. I think I saw this first on Twitter.
Okay.
Paul Mac link slash 13R. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Teleport to new video game release. Paul Mac link slash 13K. It's short. It's funny. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's
It's wrong,
everybody has been
man.
talking about Elden Ring, and it's a bit much.
Yeah, so
So
I usually this is when I basically tune out this stuff. All right, so this that was Polymatic.link slash 13K. This is I just called it EDM toy music. Polymatic.link slash 13U.
and I don't remember what this was.
This is the guy has a toy little horn, and he makes EDM music like a classic EDM tune that everyone knows out of it. And you can
Okay.
hear his friends. He's doing this with his friends in the room, and they're filming him, and they're all laughing while he's doing it.
Okay. So hot sauce from Vinyl Gloves. Now red is added again. Paul Mac link slash 13L. I think this is. It's like from a month ago or something.
Hmm.
I put these links in so long ago. It's not good.
Yeah, I had to stop going through like the deep well of links that I had, and I was like, no, 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 let's pick a couple recent ones. So
Yeah. Anyway, Polymatic link slash 13L for making hot sauce from vinyl gloves. I think he damaged his tongue with that stuff.
yeah.
Oh,
All right, so I call this miniatures, though I didn't realize I had emphasized the I, or you mean, but I guess I did. This is an artist, Marina. I mean, new to me, but she most of her videos, like she did one or two things, and she's made a lot of videos that sort of explain them. But this is an example of where she made this sort of very detailed miniature. It was kind of cool. So I'm looking forward to see what her channel evolves into, what other miniatures she does. Polymatic.link slash 13Y. In hindsight, I should have moved that next to the Minecraft one.
yeah. Okay, Steam Deck time? Question mark. This is a video from Linus Tech Tips where they do a review of the Steam Deck.
Mm-hmm.
So Polymatic link slash 13M. I don't think he needs any of the linking from people, but yeah, I think it's a pretty long video. I think it's like 20 minutes or something. So yeah, pretty detailed in what it is and what it isn't. So
Yeah.
Polymatic link slash 13M.
Yeah. All right, so this is just an interesting perspective. I follow her really just to see what she gets to her. So she's an artist, and as an artist, when people create Spotify playlists, she gets to see the titles of them. So this is her sort of reviewing, or more recently, titles for some of her songs. Polymatic.link slash 13x can be very funny, can be very adult sometimes. But people think these are private lists, so
Yep.
or maybe they're public lists for their friends. I don't really know, but
Well, it's kind of funny that Spotify gives people whose music is put into those lists the names of those lists, which is kind of weird, even though they're not public.
Yeah, I don't know if these are public. The names that she's reading are public or they're private. No idea. She doesn't really qualify that in her. Anytime I've seen something like this. So that was Polymatic.link slash 13x. But I thought it was interesting. And so it's kind of funny. This is one of those weird things where TikTok wins because it's capable of taking something like this that would be only a point of view for a few and sharing that. Right? So.
Okay, next one is Need for Speed by Noodle. I think I've shared this guy before. Polymatic link slash 13O. It's he does short animation stuff, but then he does like longer videos on stuff. So he did a video on Need for Speed, history for Need for Speed, and I remember playing some of these games. It was
I don't. I remember I had a game that I think it came with the PlayStation 2 that I played every once in a while. But yeah, I don't remember really playing racing games at all.
Anyway, Polymatic link slash 13O.
Yeah. Okay, so I've not tried this, and as a diabetic, I shouldn't try this, but cotton candy at home. Polymatic.link slash 13Q.
Yeah, I was wondering where you put this in here. It's like, this is a bad plan.
It's a bad plan, but I thought it was interesting, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, new music from Royksop. This time, this place, Polymatic link slash 13H. They have a new album coming out soon, so I'm looking forward to that because it's always good music from them.
All right, so I have. Oh, you still moved them. I'm going to give them in sequential order, though, John. I moved them for a reason because I wanted these two together. But there is on TikTok. There's this thing called Songhouse Company, and they're a group out in Nashville, and what they do basically is I guess they hold sessions where they teach songwriting. And they started to put their 30-minute create a song out of a random topic sessions on TikTok and I guess Instagram, and some really good stuff comes out of it. And so it's kind of stylized when they film it. But one of the songs that came out of this, and this is the original one where they did a 30-minute session and round holes was the topic. And in 30 minutes, they wrote a hook and a song, and this was the result of it. And then the girl who basically put it together wrote it and sings it. Now I'm following her. I kind of like her voice, so I want to see what she does. But the song is called Round Holes. Round Holes. It's called by Sound House Company. The guy, one of the guys who runs it, Tyler Warden, I know him from something else. So I'm going to give two of these. Polymatic.link/13Z, and then to the artist, Rebecca Bruner, Polymatic.link/140.
Okay. So I've got something from TikTok, Polymatic.link/141, and that is creepy staircase singing. This has shown up a couple of times in my feed.
Yeah, I've seen this girl, and I don't even know if I follow her. And there's one other who goes and sings. There's a couple places in New York, like under certain bridges in New York, and even in the subway. If you get into the
Is
right
that the sea
spot,
shanty stuff? Because that happens a lot.
maybe where they sing like a Game of Thrones, or they sing
Yeah.
stuff from Lord of the Rings, or just with their own voice. It's pretty amazing to see these videos. But yeah, this person, yeah, I thought it was funny.
This if this happens to you, then run. Polymatic.link/141 for that.
Yeah.
And I have another one. What if Queen did A B C D E F U? Polymatic.link/142. I think it was pretty well done.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah. One more thing about TikTok. Those like for part 2 and the part 2s of everything, they're very annoying. They're very, very annoying.
So when I see something like that, I'll give them a little bit, like a minute at most. Um, I've learned that you have to have short attention span intentionally, meaning if you know exactly what bullshit you're getting, wrapped up into, just immediately skip. Right? If
Yeah.
you know it's not the thing you're going to like, because what you're doing is that is the way you were telling the algorithm that TikTok
Yeah, but
uses.
I wish that TikTok had an explicit saying, I do not like this.
Yeah.
Because that would tell them that I do
There's
not
a
like
couple
this kind of
cases
crap.
where on my For You page that I was getting stuff like that. So I hate when they come up, but it was like they're trying to push a certain kind of agenda on me. So I
Yeah.
just go through and I block those users. And then after a little bit at a time, if I really just tired of seeing the same artist or whatever it is, same person all the time, then I just will unblock them later. But I am sort of showing the algorithm, I'm like, F you, stop doing that. Right.
Yeah.
And
So
I can see when they're pushing a certain kind of agenda, especially when political stuff comes up, I skip. But if they keep pushing back the same person that I don't want to see, because I know their whole thing is like, they're playing the machine and it's ending up in my feed all the time, I just block them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, when I just made the account, at first they were keep sending me these I don't know how to describe it. It's like they were talking about there were women talking about how men have feelings and things and stuff. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this crazy? Like there's like conspiracy theory crap and I don't know.
Yeah.
And there was some really explicit stuff that came up at some point. I was like,
So that's
what the hell?
That's why I sent you like 24 links and said, go watch these things. If you like them, follow them, and that will shape your For You page in a much more normal manner. That's probably of your interest.
Yeah, but I didn't do that because I was like, okay, I'll just see what it comes up with. Right. And it's like, at first it was like garbage.
Well, that's the problem,
garbage.
is because if you continue out of curiosity to see where it goes.
No, it was like I was swiping them up as soon as I noticed like, oh, it's one of these.
Right.
Next. And eventually they went away, but it took like a day for it to clear.
Well, it's because that's how it's figuring out what you care about. And again, it creates a bubble effect, but in the same respect, I get certain stuff that I don't care about, and then in the same kind of point of view from that, I get stuff I don't care about that turns out, oh, that's pretty cool. I would never have taken interest in that, but then you end up finding someone who's quirky and you follow them, and that provides a certain kind of interest. Like there's one that I followed her for a moment, and I'm like, nope, she's not really doing anything of interest. So I mean, I'm at this point where I keep seeing her show up in the sort of the random so often, and it's not like she has like they're pushing on somebody with 4 million followers. They're just pushing this one individual on me a lot. So I might just go through and you know block the individuals so that I stop getting that kind of
Yeah.
part of the algorithm at me.
Yeah, I should probably go and block some people then.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't
I
know you
do
could
that.
actually block somebody.
I do that because I know how I'm getting manipulated, and since I'm Jewish, I'm very aware when people try to manipulate me. I say that I know but it's a thing that Jewish mothers do. They like to manipulate and guilt trip, and I'm like, I know when I'm getting manipulated,
Isn't
and so
that
I could
more of like a generic mother thing?
maybe, but it's very much just like when I see that, I'm very cognizant of it, a good high percentage of the time. So I know how to like sort of scathe that so that so anyhow, I look at their people like, oh, they're manipulating me, and they're and I'm like, yeah, if you have awareness of it, it's not really a problem. I should have manipulate the machine to sculpt it towards the direction I want. And so
Mm.
I know that if I gave you a bunch of things that I know will put you in the right zone, and who to go just immediately follow, then it will immediately just set the algorithm more correctly for you. Otherwise, when people are trying to manipulate the system, so there's like, oh, I heard when you had 7 seconds, just skip it
Yeah.
because you're just going to get a lot of junk flooded in because someone figured out something about the algorithm to manipulate. So
Hmm.
anyone's trying
Okay.
to intentionally game the system, whether they have good content or not, I just immediately skip.
Yeah.
People who duet react to everything, but they actually don't actually have anything to offer, right? Everyone who uses someone else's sound, right, that kind of stuff, but doesn't actually have anything to say or contribute, I just skip immediately.
Yep. Garbage. Garbage.
Yep.
Anyway, speaking of garbage, where can they find you, Alan?
Polymatic, that link/Alan. I don't even know what's in there, but whatever.
Okay, you can find me on Polymatic.link/John. And for feedback, you can reach us at podcast at Polymatic.media. Our Twitter is the Polymatic. Our website is Polymatic.media. And I hope you tune in next time.
What are you doing, man?
Falling over.
All right, that's good.
John, that Exa has stopped working.